Hello, guys. Welcome back to Into the Square, your weekly current affairs and social issues podcast. So today I'll be your host, and with me I have Kishore, Sanjog, and Bidan.
Hi
Yo, what's up,
guys.
So,
guys?
so finally we have a full house. These guys have been inconsistent
The
recently.
only consistent guy so far is Bishop. That's quite surprising, you know.
um, and so today's topic is university. And Kishore has also put a poll out on Instagram asking you guys whether you think university is essential or not, and but the majority of you, or 56%, said that it is essential, and you would recommend people to go. And today we'll be discussing our own experience of university. So all four of us have either are still at university or have recently graduated. So congratulations to Kishore.
Thank you.
First class and that.
And we'll just be discussing, is university still worth it? We'll be talking about our experiences and anything we'll do different as well. So let's just begin off with talking about our own experience of university. So how was your experience of university, and what were the two pros and cons of your university experience?
I feel like university is such like a divisive it's not divisive, but it's like everyone's either for or against it. Everyone's got their own opinion about it. Me personally, I think university. I really like going to university, because you get to meet a lot of people. You get the variety of people that you meet is a lot, and you get to see where different cultures, try new things, see different backgrounds, meet new people, and that's one thing that I really enjoyed about university, because without even without me going to university, this podcast would have been created, because I wouldn't have met Sanjo, I wouldn't have met you guys. I think that's a really good thing, because it brings a lot of people together who are like-minded, and you can create a lot of new things. But I feel like the negative with university is it isn't that essential if you want to do other things. If you want to do, say, something I don't know, for vocational courses, or anything else, I don't think it's that necessary. And in my experience, it hasn't been that supportive. The support system in university is very it's so shit. And I feel like if you want help for university, it's very hard to obtain help in any way. If you're start struggling for mental health, if you're struggling for finding courses hard, if you need extra help, it's very hard to obtain that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
so
fine.
I was gonna say, Kishore, let bear out what university you went to, so people know not to go there, innit?
No,
No,
I went to
but
University of Liverpool, but go
I
to
know.
University of Liverpool. I like University of Liverpool.
Yeah, but I was
But
gonna say, for me as well, you know how they say your network is your net worth, innit? So obviously
uh,
at university, your university is where I met a lot of my friends as well. So people that I'm close with now, a lot of my friends from school, I don't even speak to them as much anymore. So it's most of my friendship group revolves around the people that I met at university.
yeah.
And obviously, I was not joking when I said, oh, your net worth is your net worth, and your network is your net worth. Because obviously, you know how they say you're the average of the five people around you. So obviously, be careful who you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with people that are doing well and stuff, I feel like it kind of motivates you as well. So yeah, I feel like university was worth it in a sense where I got to meet bare people that I like, and then people I'm close with. So I would say when they say, oh, you meet your lifelong friends at university, I feel like you do. And also it taught me to be independent. I've lived alone for the last 5 years in the city as well. So it's I've been away from home. Do you know what I mean? So it's taught me a lot. It's turned me into the man that I am today. So I was born. You know the advert. You know the
Not
advert.
much of a
with
man,
that-
but
Navy one.
still.
not the baby one. You know that navy one. Yeah.
Yeah, the name.
Born in Nepal, but made in
Nottingham.
university. Yeah, made in Nottingham. Yeah, but no. But I was just saying born in Liverpool for you. But yeah, no. So obviously,
Born-
I feel like I am.
Made in Liverpool.
Yeah. So I was just saying, I've met people that I do enjoy here at uni. So that's what it is all about. And then I say the cons, like Kishore was saying, the vocational course things as well. But also, I feel like university, you're just it's kind of you don't really I don't know about you guys, but for me, yeah, I've forgotten all the modules what I learned in my university modules. I've forgotten it all, so I've literally just remembered it for my exam, and then you come out of it and then you just forget it. Maybe it's different for medicine or computer science or whatever, but for me, I don't remember most of my modules. I don't remember here and there, but a lot of it was just research, and I just you just like know about it for the coursework for the exam, and then you just forget about it. So,
Yeah.
but then like, cause like stuff that I learned in school, a lot of it I still remember, but the stuff I've learned at university, a lot of it, it's just like gone in through one year and gone out through the other. So I don't know. I feel like it's just like a piece of paper at the end of the day. So I think when it comes to like your degree,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think a lot of what you guys said I agree with as well. Because firstly, I want to say that university is not for everyone, and university should never be something that you just do just naturally after A levels or after anything. You know, because I think a lot of people, like if anyone's like thinking about going to university or like unsure, I think the main thing you have to know is like no one can pressure you into going to university because it's such a big commitment. Firstly, financially as well, and also it's a lot of your lives as well, like 3 4 years, 5 years, 6 years of your lives, and to just be 18 or even 17 when you're like just deciding what you want to do is a big thing, you know, at the young age as well. So I think everyone has to know that going to university, you have to be so sure you want to do something, um, that you know you could potentially see like having a job out of it later in your life and things like that. So I think I just want to make sure that everyone that's watching this or whatever, like thinking about going to university, just make sure you want to do something that you really can see yourself doing, because you don't want to really waste your money, waste your life, waste your time and things that you're just there for and just for the hype or whatever. Even though, yeah, like Kishore said, you do like, you know, learn a lot about yourself, you grow as a person, you become more independent and more mature. But you also don't want to sacrifice so much more than that just because everyone else or your friends are doing it or whatever they're doing it. So I'd say, yeah, so the pros are, like we mentioned, the pros of going to university, yeah, you mature yourself, you meet a lot of people, network, like Midan said as well, and yeah, it's just fun, you know, because like it's the first time you like move away from being secured, being like, you know, you take more risks in life, you can do what you want really, like, you know, when you go home right now, like there's like a set thing that you do, you ask, yeah, even like going out you have to ask your parents whatever, or like you just let them know. But like, hey, as soon as I come to university, it's just like, all right, I could just do whatever I want, literally, like I could literally just go out at like 3 o'clock at night and just get, you know, get wasted or what, you know what I mean? So you can do whatever you want. So you have to be, in a sense, quite mature about what you do. Like, and I think a lot of people just go into university just because everyone just goes. So make sure you don't do that. But also, the major con I think for university is so stupid because we live in a society where everything should be accessible and things, and the loan for university is just ridiculous. So the tuition fees and stuff, like, you know, like let's say for myself, if I'm doing like a like medicine, like over like what 5 years, 6 years, I'll be accumulating like 60, 70, whatever K of debt, and obviously that just comes out as tax at the end of it. But still, just to have that burden on your shoulders like throughout all your life, it's just a bit, you know, it's a massive con for me. And it puts a lot of people off as well, I think. So I think, yeah, the pros are, there's definitely loads of pros, like you get the degree as well, obviously that's the main thing that you go there for. But yeah, the con is, I feel like for myself, is the financial burden of it at the end of it.
Is it a con or is it a con?
Both.
Do you get it? Because
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
got it.
Yeah, we get it.
But I don't get it.
it's like a con, like a scam.
Yeah.
And con as in like
Like a
consequence.
Opposite
consequence.
of-
Not a
yeah.
consequence. It's like a
Like a
like
pro,
a pro.
opposite of
Opposite of
pro.
pro. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I agree with most of the things you said, but I also disagree with some of the things. So I'd like to talk about that. So as you guys mentioned, with the networking and everything, I agree with all of that. And university is a great opportunity to meet all sort of people, new people. Because often I would say in high school you're kind of in a bubble. Like everyone's from the same socioeconomic background from you. Everyone lives similar lifestyles. Everyone's from a, you know, similar sort of area, so you kind of end up meeting the same sort of people. But often, like if you go to like university, for example, I go Imperial, Bidan goes Nottingham, and you guys went Liverpool. So universities like that, you're bound to meet people from all sorts of all sorts of life and loads of international students as well. So you expand your bubble in the sense that like the types of people you meet and the people you interact with. So in that way, I feel like university, it provides a great opportunity for that. So you guys mentioned that, you know, moving out it's also meant that you have to be more responsible, but that's not always the case. So, you know, give me as an example, I just because my university is not too far away from home, I've just been traveling in, but I mean I still do what I want, so it's what I want. And so what Sanjay mentioned, like if you're not sure about what you want to do, you shouldn't go to university. I would say I disagree with that. I feel like it makes more sense if you don't know what to do to go to university. Just because, let's say you go to like an apprenticeship route, that really narrows down what you can do. So if you go to like an accountancy apprenticeship after your A levels or after your BTEC, then that's what you're going to do. But if you do something like even like history, you could literally do anything. You could go into marketing, go into finance. you can do anything. Like, so it makes more sense. Like if you're not sure about what path you want to follow for you to go to university, just because most people don't tend to end up in a career that they did their degree in. But wow, if you do something like an apprenticeship or you go through like work experience, try to build up a career path, you will probably narrow down your field more than if you went to university.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think what I'm trying to say there is like, don't do something that you just like haven't fully thought about. You know what I'm trying to say? So because a lot of people just go to university just because they don't want to take a gap year, or just because all of their mates are going as well, so they want to experience the uni life as well. So I understand what you're saying about like how most people that end up doing completely different, like having a job that's completely different to uni, having the uni degree. But do you not think that's more because of people haven't fully thought about what they actually want to do, rather than just not being, rather than having the option to do other stuff after having university? Like, would you not prefer to like have, I don't know, like wait at least 1 or 2 years and get some just work experience or volunteering in like a company, or like just to see how it is, and then know you want to do that, and then pay what, like 30K, and then you're going down that route, rather than like already committing yourself, like, what I'm trying to say? Like, because for example, let's say if you want to, like you said, you go to history and then you want to go into like accounting or whatever, like would you not have to like have like a massive like change in your, like, would it not be a lot harder for yourself later on in life than if you were to just do accounting as your bachelor's degree and then go into accounting? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I think basically, you guys better at people that do history, by the way. We love you all that do the history, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, but no, what I was trying to say is, I think when Sanjok's saying, oh, you don't like go to university if you're not sure. It's like, because imagine you go and then like you get there and then you kind of hate your course, you don't want to do that, and you just did it because like a lot of my friends, they were like, oh, I just did this subject because like because I just knew about it. I was just like, let me do it because it's quite popular. Like economics is such a popular degree in it. So I think a lot of people that don't know what they want to do, they're like, what, I'll just do economics. So a lot of my friends did do that. And then I'm not going to mention names. Like, one of my friends even said, oh, she wanted to do medicine, but then because she couldn't have her nails like long, she was like, no, bun that, and then did economics instead. Like, so imagine like people like that, yeah. Like not that I'm trying to at you guys, but I'm just saying, like, if you don't know what you're doing, like if you don't know what you want to do later in life, maybe taking a gap year might be useful in a sense where it's like at least you go out there. And I know, I think Kishore took a gap year. I'm guessing Sanjog did too. So it's like, how, and like a lot of my friends, I know a friend of mine that also took a gap year, and then like they came back in. I think people that do take the gap year, they're like kind of like are in a better position than say someone that's like 18 going straight to uni and then like starting to apply for all these different jobs, because I feel like you kind of like see the world, don't it? Because for me, straight away after school, went to uni, and like you don't really know what's going on outside. You don't really know about like a 9 to 5 job, this, that, and at least if you take a gap year, you'll see like, oh, it kind of puts it into perspective as well. Like, say for me last year, I kind of took a gap year like before I did my masters, like this year, and then like kind of put it into perspective about how like I wanted to obviously pursue a career in finance and this, that, and the other, and I think that does like kind of like help you out as well. So if you're not sure, instead of just taking up a burden, like say you go and do first year of university and second year, I don't know how it might be different for obviously other people, but then like say for me and like for the rest of us, like we get the loan from the government, and then like if we go and like just waste it and then like on a course that we're not even like sure on, and then we end up like quitting it, we're gonna have to pay for it ourselves eventually in the future. So I would say like just take your time and take your gap year, and then I just come back to it after, innit?
I feel like even with the gap year, because I took a gap year and then I wanted to do, like, before I took a gap year, I wanted to do medicine as well.
Okay.
And I couldn't because like my A levels were bad, and then I wanted to see if I could like if for alternate like reasons, if alternate methods to do medicine, and then I quickly realized that medicine's probably not for me. But like even taking the gap year, I was like still struggling to find out what I could do, like what my degree is, and even now, like even though I've done it, like I don't know if I really want to go into like computer science or if I want to go into like that field. Like, it's very hard for me to like. I probably will, but I'm just saying, it's very hard to like find what you want to do. Like, even if you like decided, oh, I'll do this degree. So I think I agree with Bishop, where it's like you do a degree, but there are like there are a lot of possibilities after the degree. Like, even if someone did like English, even if someone did like psychology, those type of degrees. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but like those are like the less like needed degrees. Like medicine, you have medicine, law, and engineering, and computer science. But if you do like sort of like not that needed of a degree,
Like a STEM subject, you mean?
that yeah, like a STEM subject or whatever, like. But I think with even if you do that degree, a degree is still a degree at the end of the day. It still holds something. It still, even now to this day, I feel like it still has like its value. Like, people still respect that, the fact that you've done 3, 4, 5 years and you've got a degree, you've got a master's, you may even have a PhD. I feel like that still holds like very like strong to this day, because if you're like applying, like, even if you do like, say you do like 2, 3 years at a job, then you can move, you can take those experiences with you, you can take that degree with you, and now you know what you want to do, you can go on to like a different subject, a different area. So I think people, like, if they know what they want to do and it's not uni related, then don't go university. But if you're so sure you want to do a degree because you want like something, but you don't know exactly what it is, I feel like you should maybe like look into going to a degree. But yeah, I get what you mean when you say that there is a massive burden with the loans as well. But I feel like, especially in the UK, it's a lot easier. They've made it a lot easier than most places because of the repayment scheme. So I don't think it's that bad. But obviously, there is still a burden. So I know.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, there always has to be a certain leap of faith that you have to take whenever you're
Exactly.
taking a subject. Just because in UK university everything is quite specialized as soon as you enter, like, even if you take a gap year, it's not like most people will not exactly get experience in a topic that, or like in a subject that they would want to pursue. Like, for example, you can't even get experience in, like, how are you meant to get experience in, like, let's say you want to do philosophy, like, how are you meant to get experience in that? There's always a certain leap of faith that if you take, and often we I feel like studying anything, if you're studying, like, if you're studying something for full time, it's just gonna get boring. Like, there's very few people I feel like that are truly passionate about the subject that they do. Like, obviously in your interview you say, oh yeah, I'm passionate about this and that, but truly, like, people who would literally, if they're not paid, they would do that subject. There's very, very few people like that, you know. And I feel like most of the time the degree, as Kiso mentioned, is just for you to show your commitment and for you to show that, you know, you've worked hard at something for years and you can be committed to something. So going on from this subject about not being sure about what you want to do at university, do you guys think it might be a better idea to have more like a US system where you get to kind of like have a taste of everything before you major in something, and overall just the uni experience is more rounded, where you can pick certain modules and you can have a major, you can have a minor. Do you think that would be better?
I really like that way of doing it, because when you're 18, most students decide what they're doing, what they want to do at uni at 18. You're still not, you're technically an adult, but you're still like very young. So I feel like when people like are deciding what they want to do for the rest of their lives, I feel like just making them, okay, like, you have like 3-4 months, what do you want to do? Like, it's a lot of pressure, and people don't know what they want to do. Fair enough, people do, but there's a lot of people that don't. I feel like the US method of, okay, try little things here and there and see what you like, and then the next year see what you really want to do. I feel like that's such a better way of like doing a degree. But I've heard it's a lot of work. It's more harder than like doing it here, because you're doing like lots of little like different things, and there's a lot of like more work. But I feel like that way is it's so much better than how we do it here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I think I would enjoy the US system too. But you know, like even in the UK, some universities do have like modules. Like I could have, I think in my first year taken like 20 or 40 credits modules outside of my school. Obviously, in a school year, you have like 120 credits. I think it was 20 credits of modules outside of my own school in like all of the years, like from my first year to third year. So I did kind of have a bit of flexibility where I could choose modules that weren't necessarily from the school of study which I was, like business. But then like even then I would still prefer to have done like the US system, because I feel like I'm very like I don't know, I'm not like focused on one thing like in a certain time. Like
Curious.
I'm just bare curious, and I would love to do like some history modules, some philosophy modules. So if I had gone to like somewhere in the US, I would have done like bare these like different little classes and then like learned more about it that way. And I think also like, you know how we're saying, oh, if you're not sure, just go and pick, like have a leap of faith and just go ahead and do it. But then like in the US, it's like much better where if you're not sure, you can just go into uni and then choose like all these like, so say I want to do like a bit of law modules, a bit of like economics modules, and a bit of like medicine modules, I don't know, whatever. Like I can like try those out and see if I like those, and then eventually if I do like them, and then I would go ahead and like go to like grad school and then like choose that as my main degree in it. So in a sense, how we're saying, oh, the UK system's bad because we don't like how some of the points we made earlier about the pros and the cons of going to uni, and then like, so clearly like if you'd been in the US, like we could have just gone to uni and like picked different modules and had done a wide range of courses and then realized what we wanted to do. So in that sense, like if you're in the US, there's clearly, I mean, apart from the financial burden, like what cons can you have, because you can just go there and decide what to do in it. So I think that system is better, way better than compared to the UK system. But then with the UK system, it makes you more specialized in one subject too. So maybe you're like more informed on your subject, but then the US students might be more like informed on like a wide range of topics.
Mhm.
But with the job market being like, you know, everyone's jobs is so specialized now. Like it's not like back in the days where, you know, one person would have like a wide range of responsibilities. Like everything is super specialized now. That like, is there even any point to like going so deep into like, let's say like chemistry or something, when you're probably gonna use like 5% of it, you know what I mean, in your job.
Mhm.
So I'm unsure there whether going really deep into one subject really helps you or translates into the work environment.
Yeah, I agree, because obviously a lot of jobs just offer like on the job, like on the job experience as well. Like because
Yeah.
like I said before, like whatever I've learned so far, like in my degree, in my bachelor's, let's say, or even my master's, like obviously I know some of it, but then like a lot of it you just forget, and obviously you have to like refresh it all the time. So
Yeah.
like if you just if the job offers it to you, and then obviously with in the age of like in the age of like the internet, we can just look it up on Google and stuff like. So what really like it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? Being specialized, like any disciple like can go into like any like subject can go into like a finance job, like if you really wanted to, like medics could go into it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they just offer you on the job training and they teach you themselves on how to work. So it's like, yeah, you don't really have to be specialized.
Yeah.
So do you think with everything being on the job and you can learn so much on the job, like they even appoint to university, because as you said as well, you forget a lot of things that you learn in university.
Yeah, as in, yeah, I think some degrees, I think a lot of degrees are like really specific, like you mentioned, to what they teach, and you kind of like don't get the sense of how it is like working with that degree rather than just like learning the degree. So I think, like this year, I think we learned a bit about like transferable skills. So I don't know if you guys know it, because like basically it's where you learn what different degrees would have in common, basically. So like that, the stuff that you learn in this degree, it'd be like, you know, compatible with any other degree. So like you mentioned, like, you know, if you're studying like finance, and you can apply that into like other you know, other jobs as well. So I think in the UK there has to be a lot more of those
Yeah.
modules where you have more transferable skills. So like Bidan said, you can get finance degree with anything, like whatever you do, kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So finance jobs with whatever degree you got, you can transfer into that. So I think if you had that option of like teaching you more, like making yourself more well-rounded rather than just a specific person that can just, you know, learn how to do some random math equations but not be able to talk to people, that doesn't really make much sense, because you have, in a job, at the end of the day, you have to be able to talk to people, communicate, whatever, you know, do presentation, write reports, whatever thing. So like you have to have a transferable skills module throughout the whole of university in UK, and I think the UK really lacks that. So maybe like in America, where you have loads of in first year you see loads of different subjects, and you can see how they link, or like how one subject relates to the other, and how that can be applied to jobs. That makes it as a student a lot better, because then you can see also yourself seeing that that if I go into economics, that'll get the job I'll be looking into. Whereas like when you do it in just like maths in A level, it's completely different, isn't it? So I think having the US system would definitely be beneficial for yourself as a student, because then you really get to see, can I see myself doing that job for after I graduate. So I think I think that's definitely helpful.
I think one con of like the American system is it's very long-winded. I think it spans like 4 or 5 years, like the average undergraduate degree there, and then you have to do like post like
Grad school,
like
yeah.
grad school as well. So I feel like if you know what you want to do, say for example you want to do medicine, you want to do law, you want to do computer science. If you know that, I feel like UK one's a lot better because it's short, it's quick. It's like you can get in, get out, go to work. Like if you're that like, if you really know like this is for me, this is right. That's why I feel like. But if you don't, obviously a lot of people don't, and I feel like the American system is better. But like that's one of the cons. It's a lot longer, and yeah, there's a lot more work I've had, because like they have midterms, they have a lot more exams, there's a lot more stress, and obviously there's a bigger financial burden as well with the American system.
See, does that make you question, like, the main reason that they have it so long is just so that they get more money? It's all privatized anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So instead of making it 3 years, they make it 4 years, get another, like, 20, 30K.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's being very cynical, but I mean, could that be an option?
No, I was going to say, is it not 4 years? Because you know how like, even in Nepal it is 4 years, but it's because like to get a degree, you have to have gone through 16 years in education, like to get a bachelor's degree. And then obviously I think like in Nepal, like you only study till 12. Your A level ends at 12, year 12, and then you go and do like 4 years of bachelor's, isn't it? Maybe similar in the US as well. That's why like it has to be 16 years in education for you to get a bachelor's degree. So
Is that the standard
in
the country? I never knew that.
I never knew that.
yeah, I think it is.
I never
I
knew
think
that
it is a
as well.
standard. Yeah, I think it is standard in every single country. I'm not sure. I mean, don't quote me on it, but like I think I've researched into it, as in like why I was so curious as to why Nepal had like 4 years of worth of like of uni and stuff. So maybe that's what, I don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
So we've been talking about people learn a lot on the job, and university there's not needs to teach more transferable skills. But do you not think that like vocational courses do this sort of thing a lot better? Like as I mentioned, apprenticeships and even like technical, like trades jobs as well. For example, like like plumbing or something, or
Plumbing,
just learn on the job. So do you not think a lot of the jobs can be made into like an apprenticeship or made vocational? Like even medicine, I feel like you can kind of make it like an apprenticeship. Like nursing is already like apprenticeship now, I think. And why do you think right now I do feel like BTEC and vocational courses are slightly looked down upon, like especially when we are in school, and there'd be like a slight divide between A level and BTEC, and often if you didn't quite make the grades for A level, then the students would be encouraged to do BTEC. So what do you think is stopping us from having more vocational courses? And so what do you guys think?
Well, I think the reason like vocational courses, BTEC and stuff, is looked down upon, I think it's because of like classism, to like put it like bluntly. Because I think the vocational courses and those sort of like plumbing and like what else like nursing, it's more like manual labor, isn't it? Those type of jobs are more manual labor, like chefs and like cooking and stuff. Those are like manual labor, and you don't really see like higher class people doing manual labor. They usually go to university. They go to like university, study like stuff we need to read, you need to like revise, you need to research. And I feel like the way, because it's like manual labor, because it's more blue collar work stuff, I feel like that's why it's looked down upon as well. But obviously it's very like technical, like you wouldn't see me like trying to like fix my like toilet or anything, or like fix my pipes, because it's like I don't know what I'm doing. Like these guys know what they're doing, they're trained on it. And like stuff like even with like electricity, like electrical and like electricians and stuff, that's the reason you need to get trained on the job, because you can't really like lecture people on like how to do it. It's so much easier for them to like just show you how to do it rather than like give a lecture on like, oh, these are the parts that you need to fix here, and like do a whole like 10, 20, 90 slide PowerPoint presentation on it. It's so much easier to like to just show people and like train, and then it's like, yeah, it's more of like visual learning rather than like looking at a screen and like take down notes and stuff.
Yeah, I think I do agree with Kishore a lot because of like vocational jobs vocational studies are really looked down upon. I think it's a lot of it is because of I think it's a lot because of pride as well. Like people like literally love comparing, and it makes them feel better about themselves. So for example, it's really bad. I know I'm saying this, but I feel like even in like A level GCSE times, people literally take the piss out of people that are in the BTEC. You know what I'm saying? So and it was literally just be like people that were not I wouldn't say the people that were at the top would do that. It would be the people that are actually in the middle who just made a cut like to not do BTEC. It would be the people those people would take the piss out of the other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So they love comparing, and it just makes them feel better about themselves that they're not at that low level, or what it shouldn't be a low level anyway. It's just because BTEC it's just more people how people learn, like you said, visual learning and stuff. But more people like to learn like that. More people can understand concepts more like that. So I think it's more of that as well, though. It's not, and it shouldn't be just looked down upon just because they have a different way of thinking than other people. So in terms of the vocational subjects, I think another reason is because I think in generally it is said that like in universities like have lower entry requirements as well. So you think like generally speaking, the people that do those subjects attain lower grades. So that's why people just look at them like, oh, they're not A stars, A's, B's. They're like C's or D's, whatever. So they just look down on people like that, like you said, classism and stuff. So that is the main reason as well. But yeah, I think it shouldn't be like that, because to be honest, like you need a plumber, you need an electrician as much as you need lawyers and doctors or whatever in society. So it shouldn't really look down on people that are just doing work in a short job, because they probably know way more about what they know than you will ever know about that. So it's just very unfair that society has made us think like that just because of how we're classed even in schools. So it carries on to ourselves when we grow up as well, and then we look down on those jobs just because those were the people that are doing BTEC compared to using A level. So it's just very sad that it's like that.
I was gonna say, I think with BTEC, I'm not sure, like as in as like we used to have BTEC science in school too, and then instead of exams they'd have coursework and stuff. I think like people that did do BTEC were like they were just used to like a different type of learning. Like they weren't. So I say like some of the people like it's me and you and I don't know. I didn't. All of us like we were like probably good at exams, and we're like we could that was our like standard way of like learning. But then with BTEC, like it gives them like an access into these courses too. Because I was gonna say, how like although like we're saying about how why is it looked down upon in the UK, at the same time universities themselves don't really look down upon BTECs like that as much, because I don't know about Oxford and Cambridge, but I know like say in Nottingham, if you did 3 BTECs and then like got like a distinction star in all of them, that's equivalent to like an A star, or like three different A stars in A levels as well. I'm pretty sure it's like that a lot of universities too. So it's like it's looked down upon by ourselves rather than like the universities themselves. And I think people just look down upon it because like, I know like do grammar schools do BTECs? I don't think they do, innit?
No.
Like school, like, and then like the entry requirement for BTEC as well. Like if you get like D's or E's in your GCSEs, you can go and do a BTEC science or whatever. But if you have to get an A or a B or a C to do it in A levels, like, do you know what I mean? So it's like all those reasons might be why, like, obviously BTECs are looked down upon, but I wouldn't say they're looked down upon by universities themselves. So I know, like, apart from, I haven't really looked into Oxford and Cambridge and if they accept BTECs, but I remember seeing like, I know Notts definitely does it, and Liverpool definitely accepts like a BTEC, and they treat it as an A level equivalent. So if you did a BTEC ICT, that's like an equivalent to doing like an A level in computer. It's like the equivalent to an A level, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is. That's what I'm saying. So it's like I know a lot of my friends like did get into university and they did like 3 BTECs and they got like all like distinctions on them, and then like they got into like good universities too. So I wouldn't necessarily say like universities themselves look down upon them as much.
Like my sorry, I was just gonna say my friend did a BTEC in his college, and I did A levels, and I had to do a foundation year where he just got in.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Because,
that's
but then like you, it's just like Sanjay was saying, it's just pride. Like we just don't want to do BTEC because like people that are not necessarily like smart. I don't know. Let's say like do no people that are smart do A levels and then people that are dumb do BTEC. That's what that people think, right? But as in sometimes I'm just like I just wish I just did 3 BTECs. I would have like cruised through cruised through A levels, yeah, and I would have come out at a uni and then I would just like we got into like a better uni than say they're not Nottingham. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Do you
even
think,
like oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, even like I prefer like that way of like visual learning. I feel like it's such a way better way of learning than like just jotting down notes and trying to remember it. Whereas like visual learning, you can actually like you understand. I feel like for me, I understand more why things are what they are when I can actually see it and when I can actually like look at it and like hold like do stuff with it rather than just it being told to me and being like, yeah, you have to understand this because of this and that. Like I feel like even like that, I feel like visual learning is such a better like way of like remembering things and learning things as well. I don't know.
do you think all this like university and doing A levels is because of like UK's historic elitist past? Like there's been class system and like back in the day, academic, it didn't work. Like I don't know if you guys have read like Great Expectation. So back in the
No.
Victorian time, it was looked down upon if you did any sort of work. Like, as a gentleman, your job was just to like go to parties and then like study, have intellectual conversations. Like that was literally like what the high class people did. Like if you did any job, that was like what the hell are you doing? I feel like that kind of still sweeps into our society now, where it's like
Yeah.
that academia is considered like moving up to upper classes, like you're moving up to middle class. Even though like I would say like salary wise, you can probably earn more like just doing like a vocational course. Like for example, like my friend did like a vocational course with TFL or like one of the railway companies that's contracted by TFL, and I mean he got like 20K like while he was just training, and now he's on like 40K salary, and
Fam.
that's pretty much better than most graduates.
Bricklayers, they earn like builders earn so much more and like all they do is manual labor. Like
But I'm not
it's
just
it's
talking
crazy.
about. I'm not just talking about that, but I feel like, for example, in Switzerland and Germany, you can go into engineering just through like doing
Vocational, yeah.
vocational. While that sort of route isn't really common here, and that's not just led by. You got to understand that there are places in university just because there is demand for it. Do you get me? So if there was demand for these courses or like demand for more vocational courses, then there'll just be more of them. There'll be more apprenticeships and more diplomas. And I think UK is kind of slow in taking that up just because of this historic past of like academia being elitist. While other countries like Switzerland, Germany, and other European countries, it's kind of like moved towards like it's been like that, more like that, where vocational courses are done by more people. It's not really looked down upon, and they're quite competitive as well.
And you know what it is as well? It's the government, not the government, also like people like looking at, like schools as well. Like in my school, if you like, it's like you're kind of like forced to apply to university because they will just say to you, oh, just try and apply to university.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you don't have to accept it, and then say on results day, you can just say no, and then you don't have to go there anymore. But then if you already applied, if you already gone through the process, if you already like got the results, and on the day, if you're like 100% sure you don't want to go, because if you just applied on a whim, you're just gonna end up for going through with it because it seems like the next logical step. It's like a plan.
Yeah.
Because on results day, like you if you don't go to university, if you don't accept that offer to go to university in September, like you have nothing lined up for after that. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of like, because definitely in my school as well, like they were forcing people that were like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to go to university. They're like, no, just try and apply. It's just because they wanted to have like a higher percentage of students that went to university like on their website. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like that would like reward them maybe like through government grants, schemes or whatever, or also maybe through like more parents sending their kids to like that school for A levels and stuff. So I think that whole system as well like kind of like messes it up for all of us, that where like you're kind of forced by your teachers in school to kind of apply, and obviously like you've like come through like 5, 6, 7 years of like you just listening to what your teacher tells you to do, and then you're just like, oh, you know what, let me just do it. And then like, and they might because at that time you think, yeah, they might be right, because imagine I want to go to university, say on clearing or whatever. I mean, say I want to go to university on like the results day. I wouldn't from what they say to you, like you'd think, oh, if I don't apply now, I have to take a year out and I have to do it right there and then. But I know for a fact, like even if you don't have a UCAS application, you can call up clearing on the day and be like, oh, this is my results. Can I go to this university? And then the universities will accept it without a UCAS application as well. So
Oh, really?
it's literally yeah. So you don't have to have applied because we tried to do that to one of my friends. Obviously, his grades wasn't good enough, so he couldn't like go anyway. But then like
Yeah.
we tried calling and they said, oh yeah, what grades did you get? And they're like, oh okay, like we'll have a look for you. But then obviously eventually his grades wasn't good enough, so they didn't accept him. But you don't have to have applied to university prior to like clearing, because clearing literally you don't have a single university to go to, so you're applying to random universities, isn't it? That's like saying you've not applied to any university there at all. So like teachers just like kind of like lead you down that path. So if you're kind of unsure as well, like they just tell you like, oh, do this. I mean, that's my personal experience with my teachers. I don't know if you saw that happening at your school too, where teachers were kind of like not forcing you, but then like they were kind of like pushing you, edging you towards like applying to university and actually going there. Like, what do you guys think? Did that happen to you guys as well in your schools?
Yeah, for sure. Like Sanjay mentioned that it shouldn't be the next step, but it is. Like it is. If you did A level, that is the next step. Like,
I feel like with my school, it was like that, but they let us know about like a debt and like student loans and stuff like that. They let us know like, oh, there is going to be this like burden with you for like maybe like 20, 30 years, so just be careful. But they were definitely pushing like university and like
I feel like my school definitely had like a scheme, like a bonus scheme, where like if like a certain percentage of students went to university, like the head of sixth one would get this, because bro, like the way they're pushing it, like they're like, oh, it's only like once you earn over a certain amount of money. Now I think it's like 28, 29k. Before when we first I think went, it was
like 19,
21k.
19 I think.
No,
when I was in high school, in secondary school, it was 19.
Oh yeah, because I remember now I think it's way more, like things like
26 or something.
It's like 20,
So,
26, 27. It's mad.
but then and then they're like, oh yeah, you don't have to pay anything back until then, and it's gonna be written off after 30 years. But they never tell you about the fact that the day you start getting student loan, you're gonna start earning interest on it too. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of messed up. And then and the fact that it's 9k as well, like them man went to university. All our teachers went to university when either it was free or when it was 3k. Like why are we like listening to these men speak like?
I think you're maybe uncovering a major conspiracy with the schools being linked to the universities and stuff, you know. But yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken quite a bit of university and vocational courses as well. So do you guys have one tip for anyone applying at the moment? Just one quick sentence.
I feel like, like if you know what you're 100% gonna do, go to university. Like it's one of the best experiences like I've ever done. It's one of the best time. They say university is gonna be like one of the best times in your life, and it's true because you're free. You've got independence. You can do whatever you want. You meet a lot of people, and where you like find out more about yourself. So I feel like if you really want to do, but like I don't know, because it's hard to like suggest something because it's not for everyone as well. So if you really know what you want to do, then by all means do it. But maybe like take some time out and like find the right course for you. Like judge over your head what the right course for you is. Maybe take a gap year, maybe take 2. You're not in a rush. That's what I'd say. Don't be in a rush to go to university. Yeah.
Yeah, I fully echo that as well. I'd say, just take your time and just be sure of what you're going to do is something that you're fully interested in, not just for the sake of going to university. But also be excited because it's a very, it's a very good time of your life. It's probably the time that you're going to look back on in 10, 20 years time anyway, and then see make memories, make new friends. So it's definitely worth it, even though there is a lot of cons, but it's definitely worth it. And it sets you up for life.
I was gonna say, I am gonna agree, but also I was gonna add that I too made like really good friends at university. I enjoyed being here, like enjoyed my time here. I got matured. I feel like I have changed, but then I've changed for the better, I would say. And I found my feet, found my people. It was really good. But then also one tip that I would give to people though is like make sure you go and you know how like open days, university open days. Make sure you do go and check out the university on open days and all these things too. Because I remember like thinking, reading about, cause I don't know if you guys ever used to like read on the student room, like this about certain universities, and then on the student room they sold me Warwick, like they sold me Warwick like like nothing, bro. Like literally, they were like, "Oh, Warwick is the best university to go to." This, that, and the other. So in my head, I was like, I made my mind up saying, "Oh, definitely gonna go to Warwick." But then went to visit Nottingham first, and I was like, I really loved it. And I went to Warwick after as well, and then I was like, Warwick is so dead compared to Nottingham. Like, I don't see myself, like, because I'm quite a social person, I didn't see myself being in Warwick like that. But obviously, like, that wasn't the only reason I came to Nottingham, and that shouldn't be like the deciding factor, like, about how the university is or whatever. But I think that does play a major part too, because you are gonna be living there for the next 3 to like 5 years of your life, because you might end up doing like a foundation year, or you might end up doing a master's. Do you know what I mean? So you'd probably be spending there for the next 3-4 years of your life. So you have to obviously make that decision, and think about it properly. So do research a lot into it, and don't just apply to a university just because your friends is going there, because like you definitely make more like new friends there too. Like I did come to university with my friend, but obviously, like I loved him. I don't know what you mean. I'm still friends with him. Like I'm saying but then we like what's it called? I made more friends too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Like you don't just have to go to university because your friend's going there. Your friend is applying, so you're like,
True.
I want to like go there and be with them, because it might not turn out. I'm not saying it didn't turn out that way for me, by the way. Like it did. Me and
Bro,
my
you're
friend are
digging
still
yourself
friends,
up here, bro.
yeah, I know. No, but I'm saying like it's like you know some people like they do go to like the university because their boyfriend's going there, or, like their friends going there, and then eventually they break up or something, or they stop talking to each other, and it's like, oh shit, why'd I come here? But it's true.
No, I know what you mean. That's actually
It's
true.
so common, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it happen so many times. So it's like you just have to be careful, innit? And then also I know people might be excited or nervous. University is like a fun time, and obviously maybe after COVID, you might be able to go out too. So what's it called?
Well, you
Look
can
forward
go
to
out now.
freshers.
Like, everything.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, but obviously, like say in September now, and like look forward to your freshers, because there has been no proper freshers for like 2 years nearly, in it. So
Yeah.
if lockdown doesn't happen again, but we'll see about that one.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So my advice, as someone who's lived at home, I would say that, especially in the first day, I do regret not living out. And just because, like, back in the days, I used to think, oh my god, like, if you live in London, like, why are you even living out? Like, there used to be some people that live quite close to the university but still choose to live out. And I would just think, oh, that doesn't make sense at all. But now looking back at it, I do think it's worth living out, especially if your uni accommodation is close to university. Just because not only is it much easier to make friends, but also something like going to societies, going to clubs, you are more likely to do it if you're close by, or if it's like a 5-minute walk to the university campus for you to attend that club. For example, I live like 50 minutes, 1 hour away from university. So it just doesn't make sense, like especially if I don't have lectures that day, for me to go in for societies, for me to go in for clubs. So I couldn't really be involved in that too much. So I would say that it is worth living out, especially in the first day, even if you're quite close to the university. So that was my advice. So moving on from all of that to into the square. No, into the what? What's it called?
Into the square.
Yeah. Whatever it's called, bro.
We have a lot of debate about what it's called, but I think it is called into the square.
Into
man.
the square. That's what we're going with.
Whose turn is it? Is it Sandra's
Who do you
turn?
think it is? Sandra's.
Oh.
Shaking that for like good a minute now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because you know, I think it was mine, so I even brought mine down. I was like, okay, man, you're going.
All right.
I'll put you in a jar, man.
All right.
Put your plot.
All right. Let me see who's gonna. Wait, who was called last time?
I think I had to answer last time.
You
Man.
then have to answer.
And who
not
asked?
I asked.
Oh, okay. This one's for Bishop then.
Oof.
Alright. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know if we might have covered this, just randomly. I think we might have talked about this. But basically, would you rather be rich and famous or poor and not famous?
I'd rather be rich and famous, man. I don't understand. Would you rather be rich?
Yeah, what the hell?
famous?
Would you rather be rich and famous or poor and not famous?
I think I was meant to write it other around. I think I meant
Oh,
to.
you're meant to be. If you wanted to be poor and famous.
Yeah,
Poor and famous,
poor
rich
and famous or rich and not famous. That was it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's kind of
that's
hard.
simple.
What?
That's simple.
Now like before.
Oh, it's
That is
yeah.
simple.
Before I used to say,
I feel like it's simple.
Nah.
rich, yeah. But now, like, I realize, like, you can do quite a lot. If you're famous, like, that's such a big platform for you to do a lot. Like, if you're rich, I get like, depends how rich as well. How rich?
All right, let's talk.
Upon
your
let's
wildest
say
dreams.
Multi-millionaire, come.
Like,
I'm famous, right? I'm like multi-million nothing. I was doing billions, then I'll go to the billions.
What's nothing?
No, but
What
so
famous
say,
person do you know?
Okay. I was just, how about you become a billionaire, like, about just 1 billion? Or like, sorry, this is for Sanju's question, but I've kind of hijacked it. But, but would you like say a billion and like not famous, or like poor but then like mad famous, like Ronaldo famous, like Cristiano Ronaldo famous or something
so
like that.
that's like everyone in the world knows you. You could go to like some village in Nepal and people know you. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pick Ronaldo famous.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I think it would just be an experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
That like you can't like. How many people are there like Ronaldo famous? I feel like that's like 100 people. I think are that famous. Not even that. Like 20 people. But billionaire, there's like 2,500, 3,000 in it. So,
How many?
Ronaldo.
There's not 2,000 billionaires.
I don't
There
think so.
are.
Is there?
Bro, there's like maybe like 50, bro.
No, this bro,
There's
man, this
2,500,
bro.
something like that.
Even
No,
even
it's not
flipping, you know,
2,500 billion.
there is. I think there is.
China's been popping
Is
off,
it?
man.
Alright, we'll search this up later, man. Wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm famous.
Famous.
Calm. Alright, wrap it up.
Alright, so thank you guys for listening, and you can check out our Instagram page at Into the Square, and please do like and subscribe so I can get to one step closer to becoming famous and achieve my goal. And you can have a listen on Spotify as well.
And YouTube.
So yeah, and YouTube. So thank you guys.
Thank
And
you.
TikTok. We've got TikTok as well,
Yeah,
guys.
TikTok
Now, right?
as
Oh
well.
yeah. Don't
TikTok.
forget
Make
about
sure you guys go and follow Into the Square on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. And you guys can also
Simple.
send us questions. And Bishop, you didn't mention the poll either, bro.
Oh, yeah. So
We did.
yeah.
We did.
I did mention the
did.
poll.
Oh, we
Well,
did.
we'll be continuing to do the poll, so keep an
Yeah.
eye out for that. And hopefully you'll enjoy our next topic as well.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.